Okay, so the first one we will discuss is subsidy cost. Now what is subsidy cost? Let me write it down. The subsidy cost occurs because the cost at which food grains are procured or brought is higher than the price at which they are sold in the public distribution system. So this is the first major component. What is the second one? Let's quickly rub this. Okay, the second one is administration cost. Okay, so it is occurred or it occurs due to storage, procurement, operations, and transportation of food grains to consumers, from food grains from farmers, from farmers. So this is the cost which has to be borne by way of administration cost. Farmers to consumers. Apart from this, there are some other reasons also. So theft, wastages, and damages in storage, and transit cost. So transit add to these costs. So why is public distribution system needed? Because although the Indian economy has remarkable progress in terms of growth along with the decline in poverty, the nutritional status has not kept the pace with the, so nutrition value we are lacking behind that, and India has become home to the highest number of malnutritions or nourished people who are underweight children. You find the most underweight children of the world is in India. So PDA was basically expected to reduce the level of malnutrition in India, and the PDS was conceptualized, or it was created as an anti-poverty and one of the largest safety net programs in the world by supplying rice, then wheat, kerosene and sugar, and at highly subsidized price. And food security and nutritional security are the biggest objectives. So let me write down here, this is very important. Okay, so food security and nutritional security are the biggest objectives of the PDS. So this is very important. Okay, now why is there so much of weak penetration of PDS, and why PDS has failed to provide food security to the poor? So let us just understand this, that there has to be some leakages. Okay, so let us understand the leakages. So let me just clear this. Yes, so let us see the leakages here, because there has to be some leakages here. So yes, leakages are, because leakages and corruption of PDS. So the first one is, everybody has a ration card. That's the big problem. Okay, so the rich or the non-poor are getting the benefit of PDS, and they are also getting the benefit of subsidized prices. So that is a loophole. So because this program is only for the poor people. Second, the real poor, so these are all errors, are getting excluded from the PDS net. So these real poor are not coming in the bracket of the PDS system. Okay, so that is the loophole. What about the urban bias? So urban means there is a partiality that ration shops are mostly there in the urban area. So urban bias. So what is the meaning of bias when you are partial? So urban, that is most of the ration shops are in the urban places. So ration shops are mostly situated in urban areas rather than rural areas. So that is a big problem. Then there is a problem of identification. So there is an identification error. So let us see this. Okay, so no clear definition of the poor households. So that is a major problem. Okay, and let us see some other common causes. So let me just rub this clearly. Okay, so first is, let me write down here, other common causes. Okay, so the first is very inferior quality. So inferior quality of grain. So that was not the motive. Okay, so good quality grains had to be supplied in subsidized prices, sold in ration shops. So there is a corruption here. Okay, something is going on between the middlemen. Okay, second, difficulty in obtaining ration cards. So ration cards are not distributed properly, so there's a lot of difficulty to get ration cards by the poor. In fact, they should be given this facility just coming down, and rather the government officials should come to the houses and give and provide them the ration card, rather getting suffered in big queues and lines. So that is very injustice. The third one is diversion of food grains to open market. So what this ration shops you've seen in the movies also, the ration, they just showed that it is black marketing, the sugar is not available, the rice is not available, and the excess these food grains are diverted to open markets at high prices. So that is what is happening, but this is not to be done. The next is black marketing. So this is related, diversion is related, and because of diversion there is black marketing. A huge black marketing happens in ration by the ration shop dealers. Right now also in India, if you see, there are many of the states where in the central they had given that the PDS system during the COVID-19, the the entire central government had paid a lot of money to see that the entire food grains are supplied all over. But major states, especially West Bengal, Bihar and all, they have done some black marketing and the food grains have not reached to the poor people. Okay, so that is black marketing which I'm telling you, and that is why now there is a question in the parliament, what happened to those food grains. So we really don't know what has happened to the food grains. Okay, so like next one we can talk about is BPL and APL. So I'll talk about this first. Let me just write down this criteria. So this is a major problem, students, in India. So there is no set criteria as to which family is BPL and which is APL. Now these are two constraints which we have, and these are the very two important phenomena in economics. So what is BPL? That is below poverty line. So when do you consider a poor to be BPL? When a poor is not having food, clothing and shelter, that is called as roti, kapra and makan. And what is APL? So in APL is he is having any like out of roti, kapra, makan, any of the two things he has and one is missing. So that is called as above poverty line, because it is understood at least he can manage with two things and one thing is deprived. Okay. So now there is a set criteria, and most of the families, you know what they do, they get these illegal cards and they show that they are BPL, but actually they are APL. So this distinction is not happening in the real sense. Okay. Coming to the next one. So yes, there is a lack of supervision. So let me just continue this. Okay, so we'll come to the next one. As I said, there is poor supervision. So poor supervision, and nobody is questioning to the to the department or to the officers. So lack of accountability, since they are all government officers, they are all corrupted and they don't do their jobs properly. So because there is no accountability, so lack of accountability, has got, or has given birth, let me write this here, given birth to middlemen. Okay, so these are the people who bribe the government officials and they do their work. Okay, who consume a good proportion of the stock meant for the poor. And yes, the next point, and the very important point, the poor households have no say. So they don't have any say to choices, so they cannot have any choices. So no say in the choice of the grain sold. So whatever they are getting, like a beggar, they are supposed to take it. They don't have any choice to even say or speak something against it. Okay, and so that is why they have to buy whatever the government decides. Okay, so they don't have any other option. Okay, so that is the big problem, and that is why there is a timeline, as I said, because if you see also that PDS was introduced right around the World War II. Because as the World War II, there was a story that there has to be rationing in the 1960s. Especially there were a lot of wars India was doing there, and that is why there was a requirement of distribution through PDS at the time of crisis. And because most of the grains were dependent on the import. Okay, now this PDS system was expanded in the 1960s as response to the food shortage of the time. Okay, and that is why the government intervened into, and they set up this Agriculture Prices Commission and also the Food Corporation of India, to mainly to improve the domestic procurement and the storage of food grains. Now by 1970s, the PD has involved into a universal scheme for the distribution of subsidized food. So in the 1990s, the scheme was completely changed. It was revamped to improve the the access or the availability of food grains to people in the hilly, even in the hilly regions, and also in the regions where it is not been available. So in the inaccessible areas also it was available, and it was mainly done to target the poor. Now subsequently, if you see, in 1997 the government launched, so let me write down here, very important point. So these are the timelines which you have to remember. So I'm giving you some current information. So in 1997, the government launched the targeted public distribution system, that is called as TPDS. What was the focus? With a focus on the poor. Now TPDS aims to provide subsidized food and fuel to the poor through a network of ration shops. Okay, let me continue. So now the current thing is happening is in 2013. So let me write down here. Yes. Okay, so in 2013, that is September, in the parliament, so parliament enacted the National Food Security Act 2013. Now what is this act? See, the act relies largely on the existing TPDS to deliver food, grains, as a legal entitlement. That means you are supposed to get it to poor households. So this is an entitlement which is given by the government to poor households, and this marks, as a shift. So this marks a shift by making the right to food a very, very important right, or rather it says, you can say, as a justiciable right. It is a complete right of the poor and they cannot be deprived. So it's a legal entitlement which is given, and that is why they have enacted an act for this, for the protection of so that the poor men of India get the food grains compulsory. So it's a compulsory thing, and that is why the National Food Security Act was established in 2013 September in the parliament. Okay, so yes, I will now in the next class I will speak about the working of the PDS. So meanwhile, please have a great day and please go through the slides and the explanation. Thank you.